close enough. Oh, that's junk. That needs to take apart too. Came from something. I don't remember what it was. All I gotta do is like break this right here. Copper should slide out. That's about the extent for like motors and things like this that I'll go through. I'm not gonna take apart like little motors and transformers. If it's exposed like that, it's a quick break. I'll take it apart. All the other stuff will just get tossed in with motors. I knew. Oh, music. So I just got, probably easily $4,500. I doubt it reaches $5,000, but $4,500 in 130 listings for 220 bucks or something. Past couple of days. But Julian Cope, Skin Yard, and Walter Becker, which apparently is from Steely Dan, these three are in there now. This is Julian Cope. So definitely has an 80s feel to it. 1987. World, Shut Your Mouth. And for no one watching, you probably can't hear it. So I haven't done like a destruction of anything in a little while. Some other tools I found of recent. A stapler. Arrow stapler, JT27. I used to sell like little tools like this. Especially like office tools and things just like these little handy tools, man. People buy up, decent, good stapler. I don't know if it's a good stapler, but they buy them up. Got a 4-inch C-clamp, no name. There's something else in there. But I have these things here that I got when I went to the post office Thursday. I want to say it's Thursday. So I went to the post office Thursday. I guess last time I took stuff apart. It had been last Monday then. Or that Sunday, or maybe Tuesday, when I had those other monitors. One of these is leftover from that, but there's the arborvitae, the evergreen, the arborvitae tree they had thrown on top. And I went back a couple days later. They had cleaned up the little dirt and debris that was there. So I got to get the stuff situated and put away. So this is likely it should be. I don't know where that other magnet's at. So the little magnet right there, it might be from this. Or it could be a magnet to help stick on that. But that's going to be stainless. Those are not. That's straight up steel. You'd figure they'd be stainless. I mean, I guess that after a while, if they go bad and they rust, you can see a little bit of rust starting right there, you'd probably just buy a new pair. Disposable. But, I mean, that's going to be £1. Stainless is only 30 cents, but may as well add it with the little... No, I definitely can't see it. So, if I can block the lighting sensor. barely. But right there's a stainless boiling pot and then other little miscellaneous stainless stuff in there. And these two probably at least put my slippers on. Yeah, even just like getting little boxes like that. This place is just too damn small. So I do not want these two to end up like that. I guess they're gonna have to be like that. Yeah, I don't know where the my other little hard drive magnet went. I got two more. Oh well, I got like 4 more magnets over here. So today it's gonna be a little warm. Again, for who's over here, the decent June. Well, it's going into July now. The decent June temperatures, mid 70s, low 80s. Today it's going to be almost 90, then 92, roughly. Tomorrow, a little warmer the next day, high 80s the next day. This week's going to be fairly warm. So that's when I like to stay inside, and I went ahead and separated the discs. That's when I'll stay inside. If I don't have to go outside and go play in the heat or the extreme cold, I don't. Fortunately, I mean, it has been overcast for quite a bit, many of days, which obviously keeps it cooler. But this remote was also at the ultrasound place when I went there a few days ago. And I didn't really get much. I mean, most everything else that I got was just, was solid state, was solid aluminum. Actually, I stopped at, so I went down Cuyahoga Falls yesterday, that first store route, and I go into townage and stuff. Well, on my way from Cuyahoga Falls Avenue to where I needed is Brighton Road, which is basically right where the Chapel Hill Mall is at. Instead of me going down Howe Road, which then leads to a 6 corners intersection with individual traffic lights, and one part of that 6, the light goes. And so if you get the tail end of the green light for your lane, you're there for 10 minutes. But if you go up a road called Home, and you go take a left on Independence, it'll take you right beside the thrift store where I need it. So on my way through that, I see someone was throwing out what it turns out to be a 32-inch Magnavox LCD TV with the little side speakers. So it's not a tube TV, but it's a TV from the early 2000s that falls within the ranks of unique and vintage. It works. And she gave me like 20 15-inch aluminum pans, like cooking pans, the disposable ones. I was like, I mean, I do aluminum and copper and brass, But that TV was free, and then those aluminum cans were free. But most of all the stuff that I get from the dumpsters, it's just gonna be a solid state, or it's gonna take like disconnect a couple screws or bolts, and there we go, it's separated, and then I already put that stuff away. This stuff is the stuff that needs taken apart, and then most like scrappers, they probably won't even bother. I mean, a lot of them wouldn't bother with all this. So chances are that's steel. That one might be brass. I'll find out here in a second. If it is, I'll try them out. They all are. I live in and I want to fight that much for the brass, might as well. Yeah, that one's. I mean, it shouldn't be that jammed in there because there's a slot that has to go in. You know, I mean, was it worth the struggle? No. But it's all brass, more than $9.09 a pound. Meh, meh, meh. So look at that nice little chip in there. So it'll be a peripheral board since it has all these connectors on it. It's connecting into peripheral, and meaning it's coming from something main and going to something else. So I will keep those connector ends on there. They're not even the regular kinds, even the gold connector ends, but they will stay on there. Yeah, we're just gonna get Julian Cope. Nothing really exciting on the entirety of this. Oh, quite a bit more on the bottom. You go, now I got all that little, well, those aren't slide in, those are actually in that. Those gold connector ends. Yeah, it's got plenty of connections, it's peripheral. I gotta finish getting these gold LG chips or whatever they're called. I already peeled off like 15 of them. Well, maybe not that many, maybe like 10 from other stuff I had. Just got tired of doing that one. I mean, I watched a video on Scrap It All. So that's just going to be a charge. That's not going to be a gold connector in. But I could toss it in like that for just the wire. Should have some bigger red handle snips. I got some wires, some Milwaukee wire strippers. So I could try to clip that off for that little bit of brass that'd be on that, or whatever else would be inside of this, but I am slowly learning that there's a certain amount of time that I want to spend on something and think that, well, that's aluminum. The little faceplate. I don't know about this knob. Knob feels like it too. A little bit of aluminum. That would be a connector. Of some sort. I don't know. It's the female connector part. So I don't think it's straight up connector end, but that's where it's going right there. And these things are pretty complicated for what all's in them. There's a receiver. Well, I see where my magnet's at. It's on the outside sconce. So that's just going to be a whole freaking motor in there. So that probably twists down. It's going to be brass. Definitely a lot of that 80s feel on this one. Well, not this. The song. Not many good remote control cars were around in the 80s. Mid 80s, maybe a little later. So you can break that. This part with the board goes in as wire. I mean, I actually just wanted to break out the aluminum. Without going as aluminum. A piece of brass. Awesome, one more of those. And then I will be going out to the dumpsters later today when it cools down. Shouldn't be bringing in more stuff if I don't have room for that. I mean, I have room, it's just going to be combobulated. I mean, that's probably steel. Yeah. That one looks brass. Clean brass, white brass, yellow brass, red brass, dirty brass, painted brass, whatever. A little bit of steel on that one, but I got it apart to how I could. Still a little bit brass right there. Oh yeah, we're buying a little plastic. A lot going as wire. We'll go get that magnet. Pick up a couple of screws that I stepped on with my bare feet. And this one. Well, there's probably about 20 more on the floor, but all the other direction. Julian Cope. So in the proper timing and relative knowledge on how to take this apart, it's not too bad. I mean, I'm doing more tinkering with this other stuff. But then I'll have to take those out. Because those handles are aluminum. That's just a screen. Yeah, I used to have, I only had a couple RC cars. You know, Tyco and Nikon, you know, those kind of ones. And then I got the Radio Shack Sagita, which is part of the Golden Arrow line. And then I got a Lozy, a Team Lozy from someone. This is just wire. Yeah, I don't know what I did with my hollow right there. Go, gadget. Now I have to easily get those things out of there. And I think this whole faceplate and everything on this controller and these right here are aluminum as well.
I've been awake too long and I'm wondering why I have to sell my world for a piece of pie.
Things like that, I will cut that down. Get a little copper off those. Yeah, you can take the whole knob. Well, yeah, I mean, that's likely stainless. But it will all get put on as aluminum.
I've been awake too long and I'm wondering why I think of all the times you can change your mind. I see the sunshine.
Actually, that one could just go like that. Tear that down later. Tear that one later. Let's bolt it in there. Get a nut holding it down. I mean, you find this aluminum, just like all the, I don't think weird spots, but you could have put it all the way across the entire thing. No. I'm not gonna bother to take that off then. Yeah, I can feel that nice little bit of heat. So that works just as well. All right. Glad you guys watched that remotely. He's going to miscellaneous aluminum. Well, it's not a screw. It's a little wrapped up coil. Yeah, I should probably turn the air on. Get some that moving around. Well, it's still 75 outside in the shade. A little thermometer that's on the windowsill. You grab that new magnet, right? There it is. Hopefully it doesn't break that. Nope. Straight up wire right there. I don't think it's copper. Let's put it in with brass. This is from a dog fence thing, visible fence type thing. That's just my best guess. Battery backup system. So no, it's not for a dog fence. However, for the Phillips, how deep that goes in, and how skinny that is, I do have. That might fit. There we go. Make use with the tools I have. And come on, Bates. No one's there. I was eyeballing some power tools at Habitat the other day. They had one that had a smaller, like sawzall type thing, smaller as like this. I mean, the sawzall is going to be like this big anyhow. It's a smaller one. And a little corner sander thing. And I don't know what the other tool was that was inside of that. It's not really a perfect board. It's going to be, looks like 50-cent pound board. Nothing spectacular. 2 ICs and a relay. And a little copper speaker and a MOSFET. One I'll have to take apart later. Uh, I mean, it's gonna be a little bit of brass. I see you, little magnetic parasite thingy. I think this is Skin Yard. I think. I didn't hear the CD player change. We'll tell by the voice in a minute. So that's all there was to that thing. Barely. But it does the job. I'll do that. No, I could probably clip the brass right from the board. So what a copper, the difference between that, yeah, it's a couple bucks. So I'll process that down later. Nothing spectacular. Some brass right there. Wire. Yeah, there's no gold. It's just a wire. It's not really a clippy connector. These, if I cut this right there, There's going to be a relay in here. That's when I'll process down, but I'll keep this coil on there. See, I'm going to get 50 cents a pound for this board. I can take this off and end up with about 10% of all this is going to be copper. So if I get $3.50 a pound for the copper, which is going to be 1/10 this weight, for something that is 6 times less price to keep it on here, just keep it on here. I could take them apart. I did take little transformers apart. I don't have the tools or the tedious time for that. To each their own. So unlike this, see, all you have to do is repeat after me. All you have to do is repeat after me. That is from my days as a camp counselor. Late last night when we were all in bed, old Lady Leary lit a lantern in the show. When the cow kicked it over, she winked her eye and said, "It's gonna be a hot time in Old Town tonight. Fire, fire, fire! Run, lady, run! Jump, jump, jump!" That's one. I don't remember a whole lot of other camp songs. I don't remember what that came from. Looks like someone's hair. If you know whose kind of hair it is. It's the hair of the person who's let's just say their competency is about that of a fifth string football player. A fifth string is meaning, yeah, they'll do. They don't know what they're doing, but they'll do. Okay, so this is plastic primarily. So this cord just going to get in the way. Put that out. Gives me an access port to snap the plastic. See, I see a lot of people, nobody's really here watching this, but I see a lot of people, like, they'll boil these, they'll put them in vices. I mean, I can use any of the grips besides, like, the real small ones. And as long as you can keep, like, a thumb and keep this kind of leveraged right, it may take 2 pulls like that, but you're going to get the brass out. And I don't know on cutting it right here and then losing this weight for the dollar you're going to get for the weight of it where I go. Some places you have to cut the ends off. The yard I go to, you don't have to. So I don't know how many cords I've had that I just yank the brass out. But some places, my understanding is that they don't want that, which doesn't make any sense at all because it's still just going to be tossed in a shredder, just like all the other plastic that's going to be tossed in a hammer mill or a shredder. Not the part I was expecting to come apart first. Yeah, so these are all plastic anymore. Well, that's probably all steel. If it's brass, I'm definitely not going to tinker with it. Bother with trying to get all that. It's a light. I just wrote that on there. Yeah, so this is skin yard. This one's called blind leading the blind. I thought this was actually going to be a lot heavier than these night. I was thinking it was going to be. So tomorrow, I'll get CDs done. CDs. CDs nuts. Got him! Not what I wanted, but I'm just going as wire. The yard up here is very lenient of what mixes you can have and where. That's metal and non-magnetic. Probably stainless. Yeah, I got a KitchenAid. But it's not, it's actually plastic. Got a KitchenAid Classic Plus. Yeah, Classic Plus from a Goodwill down in Orville, down by Smucker's. The Smucker's, Jelly Jam, and all that stuff is at. For $8. This thing, which is just, it's used and then gets wiped down and used, and she was making something. She hadn't really wiped it down in a little while, and then tell her about that. She's like, "No, here, take this little one, take it apart. I'm not gonna bother with that." All right. So the rest of this, plastic, plastic, plastic. Yeah, as soon as that sun, about 2 o'clock, usually. Maybe a little later. I mean, now from what, a week ago to now, every day is getting shorter. Well, it's staying the same. Well, technically, days are getting rotations. I'm not getting all that. Time is changing. Days are getting shorter day by day. Sounds like a little bit of Tool right there. Sober. Again, another just basic board. It won't even be a peripheral. Because that's just power. It's not really connecting for anything. It's just power. It's just power board. So when I'm done, I'll get the brass off there, the IC off there, brass off that one, and I'll take these little things that the connectors can go in, and I'll pop that off, and I'll get the copper out of those. And cut this little bit of wire off. And then get the MOSFET and the copper out of that. So any of these boards, I'll do that too. Any high or low peripheral or whichever. By the time I take apart a MOSFET, I lose that plastic weight and all the other stuff that's down in here. But this one will come off because this is not a peripheral board; it's a standard board. So that'll come off and get the copper off that. But anything that's like a low grade, whatever the one is, that's like $3.30 a pound or $3.20, whatever. I was like, why would I take that off? It's going to be pretty much about the same for more work. Some people may agree, some people may not. I mean, I'm new to this scrapping thing, so I'm just not trying to inlay a bunch of work for the same type of payout. So that's brass wire. That little circuit board can stay on that wire. Brass is brass. It all goes in for $2.10 a pound. So they make this where if I need this thing out, I don't know how to take that out. I don't know how to take it out. That's steel, all right. One way is just break it. Break. Breaker 19. Because well, I can get it like that. All right. Save energy from swinging the hammer. Speaking of, I got another hammer, so I can break these. I don't know, 40 circuit breakers I have. And then like these big ones right here. So that's going to be copper on that, copper on those, copper armed with the silver, copper, circuit board, and all the little bits and pieces inside of here, the silver contacts on those, silver on those. Coming down the road, those generator installations, and I can get the stuff that's beside the dumpster on like the old wire spools. And if I can reach in the dumpster and get it, not a lot in there. That disconnects that. All right, so this one right here, so I can cut this right here, cut that wire, and there's plenty of gap right here for me to just pull this wire around. So that one's an easy one. I don't need special tools to cut that, to do that work. Put a wire on that. Wire right there. Brass contacts. And that might be brass inside that. Where's the other one though? So this entire little armature right here, that's just, I might be able to get the little prongs, but that's just a little too small for me to really deal with. I mean, it definitely fucking looks brass. It is. I definitely don't want that, right? Don't want to lose a chunk of brass for all that. I mean, the difference, 50 cents a pound for all that, right? Or it's $2.10 a pound for the brass. The difference of what I'm going to get out of that. I'm not going to break my my table or get frustrated over a penny more of brass. You got no one to hold him, no one to hurt him, no one to put the hammer down. So I watched the video, and then doing. If you didn't get one, you should be able to start getting underneath all of them. All right, so I'll do it then. Now that I know, I mean, that one can come apart. Those are steel. Let's make sure that they are. Rocket. Did you just wake up? Is that why you are confused, Rocket? So I got some Richards lineman pliers. They look like miniature bolt cutters, lineman cutters. I didn't know the brand. I saw them and I just thought that they were like mini bolt cutters. I would be able to use them sometime. My wife bought them the other day, and it has like a little R with like a line going around the R. So about the brand, it's called Richards. And I didn't see any of that specific model sold, but it's Richards 21 cutter pliers, whatever you want. 21, and there's a series of numbers after it, like 0263, I think is what it is. I didn't see any of that one, but just the Richards 21. Are like 80 to well over $100. So that was a pretty good. Paid $3 for those because I thought that they were like little bolt cutters. So I'm taking off those brass ends. Took off the little stainless part right there. Whole other extension cable. So I can even use this one. So it'll just come right off. With the cable on there, so if people are cutting that off just to yank those out. You can yank them out like that, and then you can cut the end. Or you keep it like that, and you cut it to a point, and then you get the actual copper out. It's just way on how I do it. I keep that little bit of copper weight in with that. Or the insulated wire weight. Gold connector ends. I'm at like 20 pounds of gold connector ends. That just goes into with the wire up here. Any type of insulated wire, $1 a pound. One. Fucking way. Couple more of these. So I have to go across the street where I got these. I mean, literally, right? I even scrap. I even get scrap from the dumpsters, not from them. I did pick up a satellite from them, though. I returned the circuit boards, the gold flash circuit boards, ×2. Gave them the ones I had before. So I took the satellite that was on the ground by their trash. But anyhow, she said that there's a guy who comes in who takes pliers and he'll sharpen them. So I have these, another pair of Harbor Freight ones. These ones I just got. Those lineman ones. I actually need some of those bigger, like curled snips. You curl over that. Because usually this would go right through that. And I've only had these for a couple months. I mean, I do have tin snips. It'd be funny if these actually just slice right through this, which they probably do. Kind of. I mean, it's all Brady. It's kind of thin, so it's not going to really cut it evenly. So that's how it should go. It should just be able to just. Like those Chinese finger traps. All right, those are done. A whopping 3 cents of stainless. This, I forget what it was connected to. I'd already taken it apart, as you see. Heat sink, but I got to see what kind of stuff was underneath there. Oh, this is to a battery pack to that one dog thing I already took apart. And that's a circuit board to it. I mean, these are brass risers on here. I mean, it's going to be a better board. Logic board. I always do that. So that's a better board. Aluminum. What we got? Got this motor. Like, yeah, come on, because all this is freaking plastic. Get it over here, big motor mama. I don't know where that came from. So I can continue tearing that down, but it's not going to lead anywhere. It's just motor. And wire. Got this portable, not DUI. I mean, I guess it is a DUI checker. It checks to see if they're going to get a DUI or not. But it's a portable a breathalyzer thing. So instead of 9 cents a pound for just for the plastic, the steel just for it to just go in the scrap. So 9 cents a pound for it. Take it apart, you get the brass and board. I mean, I don't think it's like really a. There's a nice IC in it. Gold board. Yeah. I'll take that. I mean, I was thinking it was gonna be like one of those real cheap, like cheap VCR board type quality boards. Nope. Yeah, I mean, there's gold contacts all over the place in here. See all the little gold holes. Couple ICs. A little motor under here. Little pump. Yeah, spring is. The plate is not. mean, at least I know I can get to those ICs. From a portable breathalyzer, I mean, it's an ounce maybe, right? But it's at least a buck in the board. Not much of anything else, but for the couple minutes it took to take it apart. Looky there. Likely stainless. Too small to care. He's going with brass. There should be two. There are two. So I got two walkers. One I was able to completely kind of take apart, take the middle brace, which was steel, take that out. The other one I can't because it's riveted in the aluminum, so that's how we're getting it. But I got all the other plastic and stuff off. So now, I mean, it's a lock nut. That's not going to move easily. You know, with fingers wise. Oh, that's plastic. Aluminum. Doubt it. Well, that's a scrapyard up here. I mean, they're really lenient on what you bring in and what goes in what kind of pile and category. So if you have a little bit of steel on it, or stainless on aluminum, they're very lenient on the dirtiness of stuff. We don't bring anything in that's 50% steel and 50% aluminum. I ain't fucking need to do that. All I need is this wire. And the grounding cable. I'm going as copper, even with a couple bit of brass. Unlikely, but it might be aluminum. No. Look at all that material I rescued. A couple more things here, really. Brass knob. Another brass, something for the piping. I had it up with like 6 different types of sink brass pipes. Yank the plastic off. I mean, it was just easier to do that. And I think this one was on a plastic one. And then there was plastic. They're already in there. This part, that was steel. So I have a monitor, a clothes iron, this and this. So these, you can toss these in straight up. At the yard, because the amount of plastic that's on here and the amount of steel that's on here is so minimal. So I mean, they're real lenient. I mean, I could take it apart, take all this apart, try to get the copper pricing for that. If these are copper, they have these little set screws in there. Shouldn't be a problem. Well, I can just toss all that in. I do all the extra work for $1 more a pound for this little bit that I'm losing, so I'd be making 10 more cents for however much more work. That's straight in there. Now there are ones that have a bunch of plastic and the bottom is stainless. And there are ones that are just pretty much absolute plastic. Everything is plastic. The outside, the hot and cold, everything's all plastic. That I've seen. Anybody who's well more experienced than I am will know. Oh, that's the other thing I gotta fucking do. You know what? Since I have that bigger hammer, the first thing I need to do is start getting to all these so I can take the plastic off. I'm going to take these boards that have, if there's anything really good I can get out of them, I'll get them out. If not, then they'll just go in with the boards that are 50 cents a pound. And I got to, not supply hut, board sort. I mean, actually, that's a good little chunk of just bare copper that I've gotten out of this stuff so far. it for the wire. One of these funny ones. Not funny like ha ha, funny like gay. Ha. From Sling Blade. And I just got a sealed Sling Blade VHS yesterday. So I don't know why. And as the looks of it, that's the only one. Should be able to super pry this thing open then. That was much easier. Well, yeah. I don't know. I just kind of felt like that's what was going to happen at the end of that song. Sure enough. It's kind of a. Is this the Steely Dan one? The Walter Becker? Maybe it's still the same one. I don't know. The same band. Three times a lady. Heels? Yeah, I don't think. No, that's like a weird plastic ceramic. This outer is probably aluminum. Yes.
This old town on and on. Ages blown and my bag of tricks. Nothing fine for the old around. I told you timbers in the swing. Up my arms, up up all day. I don't know. Gin time. I'm ready. First with the late show.
I mean, a bunch of it's going to be steel. That's not, but all that else stuff is.
I cracked the code, then I knew what it's all about. We fell in love down Green Street, swept at the bad boy. Yeah, I see she playing records way past fall.
So to that right there, that's going to be steel on this. I don't know what's underneath that. Oh, but that's just going to go as aluminum.
Sweet, sweet word, honey from the tongue. You're so magic that every song we sing. Hey, don't let me kid. Stay cool.
And I have this monitor
Don't trade
and
tomorrow for
this little screw.
carry the one. Sometimes we have one. No lie, so fresh, so stand by. I say,
I think that's probably, yeah, that's it. I don't know. Maybe not.
Met that half crazed painted fool in some damn bar. Cocaine, cheating. You had to share his world in shades of black and white. Didn't you know?
And then you can see right there, they're dead. They drown them. There's plenty of them. That one has an IC and it's a gold. I mean, most of these motherfucker. Most of these LCD boards will be most of these boards will be that better graded peripheral. I think are $5 a pound, $5.75 a pound. I'll cut that IC out. Cut it out. I get to that little copper tape. That is a one. Or it will be a 10. But up here, they'll buy it as aluminum, 50 cents a pound. So it's not much right here. I mean, after what I get, but it's still maybe another nickel. This is from Steely Dan, or somebody who used to play with Steely Dan. Oh, there's more right there. I mean, I took plenty of those ultrasound monitors apart. Spending too much time on this tin trim. That's a lot of extra work. But hey, a little more extra money. If that's the case, bet you this right here is too. Yeah. And that's got the little LED bar in it too. Alright, so that's that for that. I'm not quite sure the connotation of this song. Bob's just not your uncle anymore. And you're seeing what the real world is about. I guess that's the bad thing about first time listening to an album that was made probably back in the late 80s. Well, nice little IC on that. Sometimes they just blend in with the board. If you've ever done this, you probably have that. Probably know what that's all about. So that'll be a basic board. So that's exposed copper. I'll just pop that out. I'll cut a little bit. Actually, I'll just cut these out and just cut the lid. Those might be steel. No. Cut that out. That. But these coils will stay on there. The aluminum will stay on. These ones will stay on. I'm not going to recover enough copper out of it. That's already exposed, so I don't have to get taped apart. I don't have to break much of anything. I probably just sit here. If you want to get in there and pop that out, that'll stay on. I mean, although that brass on there would be good. The aluminum will stay on. That's a non-copper backed MOSFET, so I'm not going to bother with that. I'll pull this little plastic out, get those little copper legs. Most of the time, these risers are going to be brass, or these little, or the same thing as risers. They're not magnetic. I put them in with brass. Yeah, basic board. I don't think I ever really had to do it. Yeah. I don't see any gold on it. I mean, no, it's still a peripheral because it has all those connections, and it came from the monitor. Let's see what these are. Steel-orama. Here's that bit of work done. Yeah, just trash. Let's go. Aluminum. Go stay out. No stay out. This away. A little bit of miscellaneous aluminum. Miscellaneous board stuff. No, that's got a tantalum on it. That will go with gold. This does not. Stainless. Yeah, I have a mini fridge that needs taken apart yet. You know, like 7 more lights from a place where I got a bunch of lights from. A bunch, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. I mean, that was a nice little chunk of wire that fell down, bounced on my feet. Don't know where it's at now. All right. Just know by the middle of July, I gotta get anything that has boards finished up. Like these boards, gotta get them processed, at least put in that box. I need the chips, all that stuff. I gotta make sure that's done. That's why I'm going down to board sort. I'm trying to pick sometime in the middle of July. That's when my birthday is. My dad was down the street from board sort. All right, so let's wrap that one up. Appreciate it. Thank you.